operation practices post-pandemic COVID-19. Prepared by Muhammad Asmal, Muhammad Fathi and Muhammad Ayman AFIQ.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. In this operation practices post-pandemic COVID-19, we will talk about the background, the content that is in oil palm industry, rubber industry and paddy industry. And lastly, we will talk about the conclusion. The coronavirus or COVID-19 cases, especially in Malaysia, has been increased day by day. The government and the Ministry of Health Malaysia are doing the best to prevent the spreading of the virus in Malaysia. During the pandemic COVID-19, the economy in Malaysia has decreased. This is because of the movement control order set by the government and Ministry of Health. All the economic activity from the various sectors such as agriculture sector need to stop temporarily. After a few months, to increase the economy of Malaysia, this sector has been allowed to operate but under several conditions and follow the standard operating procedure SOP. The agriculture sector and its stakeholder also in the spotlight, as raw material is necessary for human survival and cannot be blocked. The company or smallholder can be operate but must follow the new normal. So let's talk about the operation practices past pandemic COVID-19. As the world grapples to break the spread of the COVID-19 virus, the oil palm industry has the responsibility of ensuring food security through the continued supply of the essential commodity for people during this challenging time. Below are some of the key risk minimizing measures that the SIMDA be implementing as standard operating procedure in all upstream and downstream operation. Catered healthcare center within estate. The estate are equipped with their own healthcare center as well as qualified doctor and medical assistant. All healthcare center have implement SOP on managing the spread of the virus and fully support national healthcare facility were required. Controlling access in and out of estate boundary. All other entrance to the estate and operational area have been closed until further notice except for the main entrance. Visitors may be allowed access into the operation area but only on the basis of necessities or emergency situation. Compulsory home quarantine for employee returning from overseas travel. All employees are required to declare their international travel and will be subject to 14 days home quarantine upon return from their trip. Once the 14 days home quarantine is over, the employee is required to undergo a healthy check. Food security. All the on-site grocery store and mart are well equipped and will continue supplying rice to workers where required. Rigorous price checks are also conducted to ensure essential items are sold at reasonable price. The mart have also implemented social distancing and only allow one transaction at a time at the service counter. Improving awareness through communication. The estate provide daily communication on the standard operating procedure as well as COVID-19 update during morning muster, email as well as social media platform including WhatsApp and Instagram. All workers are also reminded to practice personal hygiene including washing their hands regularly and to shower before returning home. In event of movement restriction order, only 50% of workforce will continue to operate essential activity, for example, harvesting, transportation of fruit, processing of fruit at mill, transportation of CPO and PK, security, clinic, and other related activity. Closure or limiting the use of common facility whilst prohibiting mass gathering. Closure of the school and childcare center in household where both parents are working. The parents are advised to alternate between work and caring for their children. Social activity in large groups are strictly prohibited.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So now I will explain to you about the practices past pandemic COVID-19 in the rubber plantation. Okay, so the first practices is the company must do the pre-operating health screening and monitoring. All employees must be examined their health before they enter the operation area. They must use the non-contact thermometer and do the examination for COVID-19 symptoms. The information about the health of the employees must be kept and recorded by the company or smallholder. Besides that, all employees also must always take care of their hygiene and always practicing social distancing at least 1 meter from each other. Any workers or staff that have been identified to have any COVID-19 symptom must seek medical treatment immediately and should be quarantined. So, company or smallholders must provide the suitable quarantine places. So next is prevention during operation. Transportation of workers from place to place in operation area in a large group is not allowed. The company or smallholder must minimize the number of workers who need to carry out operation to reduce the spreading of COVID-19. The company also must plan to minimize the situation that require workers to gather in large number. For example, the company can give break time for employees in stages so that the situation can be avoided. The company and smallholder also need to provide epidemic prevention equipment such as hand sanitizers and face masks, and then place them in strategic places such as the entrance of operation place, surau, or canteen. Periodic disinfection also must be carried out in hotspot places where the employees usually gather. The third one is do the health check on visitors or supplier. The visitors or supplier can be allowed to enter the area if they have necessary purpose only. The health status of visitors and supplier also must be checked, kept, and recorded by the company. Any visitors or supplier who have the symptom of COVID-19 must not be allowed to enter the operation area. The last one is health report on employee accommodation premises provided by the company. If the absent workers is more than 5% of the total number of employees due to fever or symptom, the company must report to the nearest health office. Employees that have the temperature of 37.5 degrees Celsius or more and show any symptom of COVID-19 must be referred to the nearest company panel clinic or health clinic. The workers are not allowed to enter the premises area and company area.
Okay, now we move to paddy industries. For the operation practices past pandemic COVID-19. According to the data that collected by Department of Agriculture from Penang, issues occurred during MCO, Mission Control Order, were limited availability of fertilizers, pesticide, seeds, machinery spare parts, and farm equipment. So, from the issue above, it will cause some problems, and it was trouble in market the products, increased level of post-harvest loss and food waste, and lastly is reducing the agricultural labor. Practices occur during past pandemic. One of the biggest rice industry, Bernas, is still importing rice from Thailand, Pakistan, Myanmar, India, Cambodia, and others. Bernas also has been keeping to its responsibility in managing the rice industry development and its duty as rice importer. Bernas also will continue to manage the subsidy payments to farmers, administer the Bumiputra Paddy scheme, and ensuring paddy procurement from farmer at guaranteed price, and be responsible as the last buyer from farmers. Bernas will continue to cooperate with the MOA Ministry of Agriculture to ensure the viability of the rice industry. Bernas also will monitor the rice industry and performing rice obligation in the rice importing sector, as well as the management of subsidies to farmers and managing the rice millers scheme for Bumiputras. Last but not least, Bernas will buying rice from farmers at guaranteed rates and serving as a last resort buyers for sustain the availability of rice in Malaysia.
For the conclusion, the condition of COVID-19 has caused industrial enterprises to suspend working activity for a lengthened duration of time and to eye for continuous option to ensure seamless production and operation against the aspect of both firm and buyers. In order to conduct the present situation and to think about such a potential pandemic, production and support company wish to act productive. In view of this concern, the aim of this option is to discuss crucial aspects of organization activity that should be carried out in order to continue operating as normal by implementing the prescribed standard operating procedure SOP and at the same time monitoring the transmission of COVID-19. Thank you.